No, it still says, there we go. So if you've not been here before, what we're doing today, I do this because it makes it easier for me to actually commit to completing one of these write-ups. Uh, right now, what we're doing is we're creating a whole bunch of subclasses for our homebrew setting. And today we're going to tackle the Paladin. If you haven't built subclasses for D&D, there is a creating subclasses guide on the Beyond forum, and it gives you everything, all of the levels you need for everything. So here's the Paladin, and we're going to go ahead and dive right on into this. As you can see, we've built a whole bunch of these Aryssan. Oh, why are there two? Why are there so many of these? Hmm, I'll fix that later. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build a new subclass. So we'll just go right here, my homebrew, creations, create a subclass. And normally while we do this, we try and walk through, create from scratch, walk through the process of building it. And one of the things that I always say is that if you're going to build a subclass, the subclass has to have a place in whatever world you're doing. So in our case, our Paladin in Aryssan is essentially a worshiper or follower of the aspect of memories, who essentially goes around and records and honors the dead. Gives us a little bit of a room to work with. Version 0. And now, if you've seen this before, I have a basic idea of how I like. There we go. How I like our descriptions and everything to look. So I just grabbed old text, and we're going to go ahead and fill it in. Paladins who take the oath of memories are known as dirge singers. They are advocates for the aspect of memories and train in the lowest descent. And once their training is complete, they go out into the world to confront the undead and bring peace to the living by sharing, by honoring the dead. I really haven't bothered to put them in because mechanically firearms end up just being a different kind of crossbow or longbow, and so I've not seen a need mechanically for it, but there are plenty of good rules and tables out there for firearms, and I wouldn't say that there's anything wrong with having them. I haven't seen a need to add them in yet. And so the short description, I think, is like, where does this thing fit in the world? And then the longer description is for your mechanical stuff. So those who take this oath, are often closely tied to the various shrines and churches throughout Aryssan, and champion causes of those who have fallen in their attempt to complete them. The you can make a suggestion, but I probably honestly won't ever get around to using it. I would recommend that you use it for something that you're doing instead, because I have vague ideas for what I want for the other classes we haven't done yet. And honestly, what I would recommend is that you use it for something that you want to do, because honestly, you should own the stuff that you make. And they are probably allowed. I haven't done anything with the chat because usually there's no one here in the chat, but odds are I won't be clicking on it because I barely am good enough with the stream as is to have successfully gotten this window to show up while I have the camera going. So I will maybe look at that afterwards, but I can't make you any promises that I'm going to look at it anytime soon. But oh, okay. Uh, what is the idea behind it? These warriors often these warriors are dedicated, remain calm, collected. Does it actually have divine casting, or is it just a rogue that uses light in some manner? This oath empowers a paladin to address the social sphere in ways most paladins can't, while augmenting some abilities in the combat sphere. Okay. Are they like superiority dice when you say spell-like abilities, or are they like just long rest abilities? And then here, what I think, whenever you build something, you should think about it in the way that the designers have with the three pillars. And unfortunately, the exploration pillar is so poorly underdeveloped that it's really hard to use the exploration pillar well. And then let's go ahead and the oath allows paladins to commune directly with the aspect of memories, which houses the collected memories of on Aryssan. So remain dedicated to this cause of remembrance over the divine conflict, choosing to remain separate from the other orders. So, oops. Let's go back to where I belong here. I don't like how all of the other things are like, you are an evoker, you are a champion, and then for paladins, it's you took this oath. Taking up the oath of memories usually requires regimented training in the ascent of memories, but some adventurers hear the call without formal training. Okay. Sorry, it's hard for me to read. I still haven't figured out how to zoom in on the other monitor yet. That seems very, very succinct. It gives you an idea of where these people sort of fit in the world, and if you have if you're making it for a very specific world, I say like have no problems what I call like marrying up lore. Like make it just like, hey, if you want to be this is the lore that comes with it. Add in like the standard sentence at the end, like, oh, but you're an adventurer, so you're special, so you don't have to take this lore, but it should be there. Paladins who take this oath gain insight against specific enemies by reading, by seeing their memories, and can even speak with the recently deceased. There we go. We've given very basic stuff. So now we get the play an Oath of Memories Paladin if, and we lost our bullets when we pasted it in. Bullets. We want to play Paladin. Yes. Reverence. Play more scholarly or reserved one. So that gives you sort of an idea of like these like most paladins you see are like the standard, you know, zealots or, you know, go out and do things. This guy, the person who like this paladin is going to be more reserved or scholarly. You want to contribute your party's success through means other than combat. You see your character as devoted to a cause and devoted to respecting and honoring all life. You imagine your paladin. Let's put that here. You see you want to use your paladin spells to do spells to influence. We already said things outside of combat. So the other thing that you do is you want to control. You want to here, let me go scroll down where we have our text here off to the side here. You want to investigate and vindicate. You want to investigate and put the souls of the dead to rest. There we go. Building an Oath of Memories Paladin. Like all paladins, focus on strength or dexterity first, along with your spellcasting stat, which let's make sure that I am still right here. Lay on hands, fighting style. Spellcasting is charisma. Good. That's what I thought it was, but I would have felt really dumb if I wrote charisma and it was wrong along with your charisma and constitution. Focus on strength or dexterity first based on your weapon of choice along with your you will be speaking most of your abilities do not key off of a specific stat, so you can focus on these primary stats. However, many who take the Oath of Memories may focus on intelligence or wisdom as well. So there we go. Nice, easy thing, and we don't have any extra text floating around. Version 0. Additional spell list, no. Spell prepared, no. Knows all spells. So nothing special. Additional spells. Yes. So here we go. Unlike usual, where I am unprepared and we spend a lot of time digging around for oath spells, we already know what these are. Comprehend languages and Bane are our level 1 spells. They just sort of fit well. Or well, your third level spells that are your bonus first level spells, because I always mess this up. And then we have Gentle Repose and Zone of Truth. And then I don't think we can give Intellect Fortress, so we'll stick with Magic Circle, because that lets you, you know, deal with undead and things like that. And Speak with Dead. And then Death Ward and Aura of Life. And then Dispel Evil and Good. And the last one, Hollow. Hollow? Hollow. Third, fifth, seventh. Oh, well. Third, fifth, ninth, 13th, 17th. Okay. We can now create subclass. And excellent, we didn't break it, which is always kind of important to not break things. So, if you have seen Paladin subclasses before, you know that one of the things, third level Oath spells, which we just gave, and then Channel Divinity. So let's go ahead and add a class feature, Oath spells, starting when you take this subclass at third level, you gain the following additional Oath spells, which I think is the language, the way that they use it. Oh, no. Here. We'll just steal that for now, because usually I'm good at my templated language, but I did not on the Oath of Memory spell table for how Oath of Memory spells. And can I copy this over? Paladin level spell, additional spell. And so I think none of these spells give you too much more power than Paladins should have in their spells. We might be wrong. Hollow might be a little bit too good, but you know, we'll learn. Required class level, third, display order 1, feature type, granted. Okay. And then Channel Divinity is the next thing that we get at third level. And now let's... Oh wait, does everyone get 2? I thought they only get 1. We may still only give 1. Channel Divinity. Nope, they gain 2. Oh no, everyone does gain 2. I thought you only got 1 Channel Divinity. Well then, we're gonna have to make a second on the fly. When you take this oath at third level, you gain the following 2. So that's why we call this Channel Divinity. So here's the first one. And then it looks like the second one is almost always, yeah, is almost always an in combat sort of extra damage. Yeah, it seems like it's extra damage or... Yeah. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. So it's basically going to be when you make an attack, when you deal damage with an attack, you may use your reaction to use this ability. If you do so, you may immediately. So when you miss a creature you have previously hit, and you would miss a creature with a melee attack that you have previously hit with a melee attack since your last hit with a melee attack. You may use your reaction to re-roll your attack with advantage. If you hit with this attack, your damage roll has advantage, which is actually the whole giving damage advantage is something I wonder why they didn't really do more of in the base game. And why is the 2 not there? And I kind of wish that they had had done that more. But there we go. 2 channel divinity options. One is you get to sort of speak to the dead very, very basically, and then one makes your melee attacks better, which you want as a Paladin. Nothing exciting. Create class feature. Level 7 is your aura for a Paladin, and if you were Dirge aura, and now if you were paying attention, here you emit an aura. Is that how all of the wording is? You emit an aura? They don't really like that. Okay, good. You emanate, you emit. Snippet. You are surrounded by an aura, and it goes from what? 10 feet to 30 feet? No, 10 feet to 20 feet. When you reach 18th level, the range on this aura is increased by 10 feet. You're surrounded by an aura that extends 10 feet around you. All hostile creatures within this aura gain disadvantage on saving throw charisma. You know, do it that way, but this way just reads better, doesn't it? And charisma saving throws against effects you control, charisma skill, and charisma skill checks. So you're just sort of unnerving to be around because you deal with all of this death. In addition, undead cannot be raised within your aura, and a creature killed within your aura cannot be raised as an undead. It's simple, it's easy, and I kind of like Paladins being simple and easy. This should be our 3rd ability. Feature type granted. Create class feature. Oh, we actually forgot to create the actions for the channel divinity, didn't we? So this is going to actions, add action, action type general. Here's our snippet. Channel divinity, recall strike. this at level 3. Activation type, reaction. There we go. Now it'll show up on your action sheet as well, so hopefully no one ever forgets that they have it. There we go. Save changes. Did we forget that for anything else here? No, because your oath spells, channel divinity, and dirge aura are not things. Add a class feature. So level 15, loving memory. This is the one that's you may learn specific details about them. See the long description. Once per long rest, when you roll initiative, you may commune with the aspect of memories to see into your enemy's memories. You can learn how many allies the creature is aware of. Alright. No, I don't want that to be. I just want these 4 to be bullets. Bullet, bullet, bullet. Oh. Well, it's not perfectly formatted, but we can deal with that later. In addition, you have advantage on the first attack you make on that creature in the next minute. This is why I kind of like doing a little bit of prep beforehand, because this goes a lot smoother than when we're sitting here just trying to, think of it up on the fly. What I think this does is it helps the Paladin immensely, because you're probably going to use this on whatever enemy you think is super important and a priority, and it makes sure that you're landing that initial smite in your first round, because if you miss that smite, it's really bad. And if you fail this, if you miss, you have that recall strike from your channel divinity, so you have a very consistent first round by the late game. This is level 15, display order 4, feature type granted. In addition, it gives you the things that you as a Paladin really, really want to know. Like, you want to make sure that you don't pop a smite that it's resistant or immune to. So you get to know that. And then knowing weaknesses is pretty important, because again, it lets you maximize your smiting. Knowing what spells a creature has, not that important, but learning active spells and abilities active on a creature are super important. I actually don't think spell-like effects is a 5th edition term anymore, but we're going to just leave it on there and see if anyone calls us on it in how this is formatted. And then it's nice. It's a nice to have. I don't think any Paladin's ever going to use it, but the one time they do and they find out that there's a hidden guy somewhere in the room, it'll be a nice feeling. But I feel like these 3 are going to get used most of the time. The fact you can only use it once kind of plays into also the fact that the Paladin is kind of constantly dwindling on resources throughout the day, and so I kind of like that, once per day, like you get to do something pretty cool. But the coolest thing will be next. We don't actually put in here the level 18 aura range increase. I think that'll throw an error when we try and finish this later, but we'll find out, because we have one last class feature, Divine Death. And now we need to go ahead. Do I still have my spells? Revivify. Ow. I copy the link. Yeah. We can't put this in the snippet, but here we go. We can put insert edit a link here. So once per day, as this guy who knows all about when people are going to die, how people are going to die, and all of that, you can sort of talk to your god, your whatever you want to call it, and be like, hey, are one of my friends going to die today? And if so, can they not? And this feels like a worthy level 5 ability, or level 20 ability. And this is 1, 2, 3. So yeah, display order 5 granted. Create class feature. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll add this as an action. Action type spell. Name Divine Death. Revivify. Mm-hmm. You may cast Revivify upon the target of your Divine Death ability once per long rest. Now we save that. Yeah, these spells follow normal and don't affect non-spell. Okay. Oh, and let's save. And now for the fun part. Did we break anything? We've got a very basic Paladin of memories. He talks to the dead. He tries to, honor the dead and carry out what they wanted to do. He gets a bunch of spells that help him in combat, to help him deal with the undead, and help him deal with, fixing the dead. So maybe some of these spells aren't so great. Comprehend languages feels kind of like a cheat, but if someone's dead and you don't understand how to talk to them, it made sense in my head when we were making this spell list. Magic Circle might be too good. Maybe not. Actually, maybe Magic Circle, is that just a standard Paladin spell? Because maybe... Oh, it is. So no, I guess it isn't that good. All right, and let's make sure that we're doing our sacred oaths right. All right. How oath spells work. Okay. Because I think this just makes them always prepared like domain spells. Yeah. Okay. Because that's how I was treating it like working, and I would have felt really dumb if that's not how it worked. Okay, so let's save our changes. Now, let's make sure that this actually works. Let's delete the last time we made a character to try and test if things worked. So this went faster. I think preparing ahead of time obviously makes things faster, but I also feel like it gets rid of all of the fun of seeing me like struggle to come up with things as we go. Homebrew content, whatever, we're a bugbear. Oh, I think it, yeah, there's no choices, right? Yeah, good. Because I don't want it to throw an error just because. So let's add class. Our proficiencies don't matter. And we need to be at least level 3 to see our first thing. Fighting style, protection, none of this really matters. Where's the Oath of Memories? Oath spells. Alright, so let's check and see if those things actually appeared. Let's just manual roll, whatever, it doesn't matter. We just want to make sure things work. Background. View character sheet. That's kind of neat. I like this red though, so we'll keep that. Spells. Good. We've got Bane and Comprehend Languages, Actions, Divine Sense, Unarmed, Channel Divinity. When you use your... Yep. Okay. Oh, okay. Both spells. Channel Divinity. Okay, so if we don't make... I don't understand why the other one's not showing up, but we need to create an action for the other channel divinity. Okay, that's good to know. So, D&D Beyond, my characters. Sorry, Paladin, you're broken. I really should have known we would need to do that. Where? Here we go. Edit. Add action, action type, general. You must spend a minute communing with the deceased before you can ask your questions, because that's an important thing to say, so that this isn't a do it in combat sort of ability. Name, channel divinity, memoirs of the dead. All right. And this is the fun part, right? Where we're just trying to make sure that we didn't break anything. Do Paladin, add class, level 3. Sacred Oath. What's that? Oath of Memories. All right, let's see if we fixed our broken channel divinity. Action. Hmm. Okay, so I think that's just because we went a little too fast. How does this actually look? Oh, I don't like that at all. All right, so Sacred Oath, Oath spells. So our next spells come at 5th level. Oh, that's neat. I don't remember if it used to do that, where it shows you now the additional effects of upcasting a spell you have. Maybe they've done that for a while, but that's really neat, and I like that. All right. So now let's go ahead and level up some more. Go up to 7. Man's Might, Divine Health, Secret Oath, Oath spells. I don't know why I'm doing this since it doesn't really matter, but we have Aura of Protection. We have our, there we go, it says Dirge Aura. And we should also have some new Oath spells at 9th level. All right. Spells. There we go. More spells. Our Channel Divinity action still hasn't shown up. Limited use. Lay on hands. Oh, that's neat. Anyway, our next thing we needed to do is our next set of oath spells should be at 13th level. We don't get anything else till then, so we'll just move on. Okay. Spells, 13th level. Death Ward, Aura of Life. Good. Level 15, we get Living Memory, which hopefully shows up correctly. Yes, there it is. Once per long rest. You can do that. Channel Divinity. See, it shows up here, so I'm kind of okay with how this is working. If it doesn't work right later, we'll care about it there. Our next set of spells come at level 17 for the Paladin. View character sheet. Spells. There we go, our 5th level spells. Dispel Evil and Good and Hollow. I like whatever they've done to streamline this. I like. Oh, it puts the attack in there right now. That's neat. I feel like they've done so much to this that I have not been paying attention. Features and traits. Okay, I feel like that's good. Then the last thing after 17 is we need to see how the Revivify looks at 20. Channel Divinity. Well, it should be showing up as an action. We are actually just finishing the Paladin, but it might require some more fixing because it's not doing what I wanted it to do. Because it should have given us a feature and trait, all the way Dirge Aura, Cleansing Touch, Living Memory. So it shows here, oh, because I didn't clarify it as an action type. So let's go fix that as an action. Okay, so that's not bad that I only broke one thing with our, well, okay, two things with our attempt. So how are you doing, by the way, Jonas? I thought you were like out and about. Edit. It is an action activation type action. Spell range touch. Oh, okay. But yes. The only thing apparently we broke was we didn't give that the proper action type. Now let's go here, our channel divinity. There should be two actions down here. Action type general. Then I think we did the same thing here. Activation type minute. Activation, specify the actions activate. What's the... I don't understand the difference between activation type and activation time. And you know what? I think we need to tag this with long resets on a long rest. Oh, we're going to have to create it as an action, aren't we? We will get to see that in just a second. Add action, activation type, general. So activation type, like look at this, like hour, minute, and then activation time. Like if I set an action, it does. If I set a minute, so when I set a minute, activation time. Activation type is special. One detail below. One detail from the description. Area of effect. Attack range. It's not really an attack range. This is name. Living memory. And we get this at 15, right? Right. There's no save. There's none of that. And it doesn't do damage. It's range. Yeah, I don't understand the difference. Instantaneous is not a valid number. So this needs to be a number? We're just leaving it blank. All right. So We have our oath spells. We have our 2-channel divinities, because apparently paladins need all sorts of options. We have our dirge aura, which makes things bad at charisma and makes things unable to rise from the dead. Yeah, and we need that because everything needs a limit. Save these changes. Yeah, I think we are surprisingly, this did not take as long because we kind of cheated and prepped ahead of time. So now we just have to see if it will let us make it go, let us share it with the world. This okay. It won't tell me which of these spells are not allowed. So it's time to play which of these spells is not allowed. So it's probably Aura of Life, because I feel like that's not a base spell. No, Player's Handbook. Okay. Dean, Comprehend Languages, Death Ward. Dispel Evil and Good is the next one that sounds like it probably isn't allowed. Oop, nope, don't zoom that in. Nope, that's basic rules. Hallow? Hallow feels like it should be basic rules too. Well, see, now I'm confused. Oh. No, Zone of Truth has to be. Or is the issue that the player's handbook isn't? Does it? I think it has to all be stuff with basic rules. So okay. Well, that's a problem then. All right. So. Oh. So we're going to actually go ahead and let's. No, don't want that. So I'm just gonna grab this to make it easier to go through all of the spells. Aura of Life. I think this one was Player's Handbook, right? Yeah, so we probably have to change Aura of Life. Bane is good. Comprehend Languages is good. Is Death Ward good? Death Ward should be good. That feels like it should be a basic rules. Yeah. Dispel Evil and Good is also. No, I didn't think that would be. And gentle repose should be basic. Yeah. Alright, so we need to kill Aura of Life. Which was a 4th level spell. Which now, I don't think there were any other really good 4th level spells, but spell level on 4th. Let's do advanced filters. And we'll there we go. Basic rules, 4th level spells. Which, as you can see, there's not that many great ones because we already have Death Ward. Yeah, there's not a really good one. You know what? Maybe what we can... No, that won't work. Ice Storm, locate creature. Resilient Sphere, secret chest. No, that's no good. We're just going to end up giving generically good spell. Let's give divination, because you're already talking to the aspect of memories here and there. So yeah, there we go. Divination is your other 4th level Paladin spell, which, is it already a Paladin spell? Okay, good. No, it's just Cleric, so now we need to go change our class features, our oath spells. And we changed Aura of Life to Divination. Alright. Now, Mother, may I? Speak with the Death Ward Divination. Alright, I think it's gonna let us. There we go. Oh, okay. So now that it's filtering by just the published and approved, I don't have multiple instances of the old ones, which I guess these old ones exist so that if other people have previous versions, they're not lost and gone forever. But there we go. We have our Oath of Memories Paladin, who, oops. This is super awkward. Create new version. Delete that there. It's super embarrassing. Let's all pretend like that did not just happen. Yeah, just no one saw that terrible mistake that we just made, and there we go. We now have our Oath of Memories Paladin. You can speak with the dead. You can mess with people's. You can like tap into people's memories, so you can hit them more. Oh, so remember how we were trying to fix the Aura of Life because that wasn't a spell we were allowed to make an oath spell and hit publish on? I'd accidentally left the words Aura of Life randomly on in some other part of the write-up, so I remembered what spell I needed to delete. And I accidentally hit publish with, or like I think it was like right here, like in the middle of a sentence, and I was like, oh nope. And so we've now published 2 versions of this in the last like 15 seconds. Just ignore it like it never happened. But there we go. Yeah, you speak to the dead. You know you can sort of see your enemy's memories to help hit them better. You can read their memories to learn what they're weak against, know what spells they have prepared. You make things not do very well against you with charisma saves or skill checks, and at level 20 you can talk to the god of death, find out if one of your friends is going to die, and say no, please don't let them die. So not a bad Paladin write up. This went pretty quick. I think we're just down to we're just down now to we need to do a sorcerer, a druid, and an artificer, and then we are done. We'll have one of each archetype or subclass for each thing in Arissa. Anyway, thanks. What time is it now? That went quick. Anyway, I'm done.